Sometimes just throwing in a small pebble can create huge ripples in the ocean. I've made 2 of these what if videos so far. What if the other half of the MCU had dusted, and what if Darth Maul had actually died on Naboo. And what we've learned, or what I've learned at least from those videos, is that one small change, or perhaps a major change, but looking at the Darth Maul video, a smaller change in canon can change a whole lot. It can have a ton of unintended consequences for the timeline. And it's fun to speculate. So, you've read the title of today's video. We are going to be discussing what if Obi-Wan Kenobi had left the Jedi Order. As always, this is one of many infinite possibilities of what could have happened if Obi-Wan had left the Order. Feel free to leave your thoughts and your theories down below in the comments. I'd love to hear them. This video is just me speculating. I'm not trying to make a movie that makes the most narrative sense and would be the most emotionally satisfying if you saw it on screen. Not at all. I'm just thinking about what logically would happen if Obi-Wan Kenobi had left the Jedi Order. If you want to see more of these videos, then subscribe to the channel and let me know in the comments down below, and let's get into the video. To start, let's go all the way back to a young Obi-Wan Kenobi, when he was training under Jedi Master Qui-Gon Jinn. During what was known as the Mandalorian Civil Wars, referenced in The Mandalorian where Jango Fett fought, Obi-Wan Kenobi and Qui-Gon Jinn were sent to Mandalore, and that's where Obi-Wan Kenobi first met Duchess Satine, who, as we know, became a very powerful ruler, though a pacifist, of Mandalore later on during Star Wars The Clone Wars, and was also the sister of Bo-Katan. Why is this important? Well, actually, the entirety of this plot and this new timeline hinges on Obi-Wan leaving the Order because of Duchess Satine, which we will get to in just a second. Years later, Obi-Wan, after the death of Qui-Gon Jinn, takes on an apprentice, Anakin Skywalker, and the Jedi enter the Clone Wars as it was in the original timeline. Now keep in mind that at this time, Anakin Skywalker did have a secret relationship with Padme Amidala. It's going to be extremely important as we go along this timeline. The Clone Wars continues as it would have. Anakin Skywalker takes Ahsoka Tano as his Padawan, and we land on the episode of Star Wars The Clone Wars called Voyage of Temptation, where Obi-Wan reveals that had Satine given the word, he would have left the Order. Now this is where the biggest change occurs, because in this version of the story, Obi-Wan would have considered, after that mission, he would have thought about where his priorities lie. And remember, he was trained by Qui-Gon Jinn. He often went against the conventional teachings of the Jedi Order, and Obi-Wan, training Anakin Skywalker, would be well aware of the flaws in the Jedi Order. And so after giving it consideration and thought, Obi-Wan Kenobi decides to give his lightsaber up and leave the Jedi Order. He returns to Mandalore and offers his hand to Satine, and they go off into the galaxy and disappear. And just like that, the entirety of the Star Wars timeline is thrown into complete chaos and confusion. So where Obi-Wan and Satine go doesn't necessarily matter that much. Let's just say, for the sake of it, that they head to Alderaan. It really doesn't matter. So Obi-Wan and Satine are on Alderaan, and he basically goes off the grid. The Jedi Order don't know where he's gone, but they don't really care because he left the Order. And now Anakin Skywalker is alone. He is training Ahsoka by himself, and he doesn't have the guidance of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Now things are going to move pretty quickly here, so stay with me. Remember how I said Anakin Skywalker being married to Padme in secret was going to be important? Well, think about it. If Anakin Skywalker saw his master, his role model, Obi-Wan Kenobi, leaving the Jedi Order because he thought that their ideals of love were not in line with what was right, then Anakin Skywalker, would be ready to leave the Jedi Council as well. So in this version of the story, I imagine that Anakin Skywalker is at a very unstable position. Obviously, he had just lost his friend. He doesn't know where he is. And he is ready to leave the Jedi Order. He is within days away of walking up to Master Yoda and saying, I am leaving the Order as well. Bottom line, Anakin Skywalker is in a very unstable position, which is exactly where Sheev Palpatine needs him. Now let's put a pin in that really quickly. And let's just say, for the sake of it, that Obi-Wan leaves the Jedi Order right about the time when Maul is rising to power, because yes, I know that doesn't necessarily line up as well, because that might mean that Obi-Wan would have to have waited maybe a year or so before he left the Order. I know that's not realistic, but we're just going to go with it. So Obi-Wan leaves the Order and Maul is out there. And of course Maul, seeing the power vacuum in Mandalore, takes over Mandalore pretty easily because Duchess Satine is no longer there. He can kill Pre Vizsla pretty quickly and he takes over the Darksaber, but obviously he doesn't want Mandalore, he wants Kenobi. And he wants Kenobi dead. That's his life mission, after all. So what does he do? He takes over Mandalore, he uses Crimson Dawn or the Mandalorian Death Watch or whoever, leaves them in charge, and then he goes off in search of Obi-Wan Kenobi. because he's heard rumors that Obi-Wan Kenobi is no longer a Jedi, and so he'll be vulnerable. Sure enough, Maul's journeys take him to Alderaan, where he faces off against Obi-Wan Kenobi, who, remember, does not have a lightsaber, so this fight is not necessarily going to be even or fair, and Obi-Wan knows that. So Obi-Wan's going to try to use his force powers to overpower Darth Maul, but of course it doesn't work, and Maul murders Satine just like he did in Star Wars The Clone Wars, and in this scenario, he succeeds in killing Obi-Wan Kenobi. Now, as an evil Sith Lord, or a former evil Sith Lord, what he would do, obviously, is return to Mandalore with Obi-Wan's body, and probably taunt the Jedi Order by putting it on a hologram and showing them that Obi-Wan is dead. Now, this would send Anakin Skywalker over the top, because Anakin Skywalker, as we know, is already pretty unstable in the original timeline. However, one of my biggest complaints about Revenge of the Sith is that Anakin's turn to the dark side wasn't necessarily motivated by anything in particular. Yes, he was having those nightmares, but then he kicks Mace Windu out a window, and that's it. That's what he does. So this, to me, would really send Anakin Skywalker's character over the top, because he just saw his best friend's dead body taunted by Maul, and that sends him in a rage. So the Jedi Council obviously doesn't want to send Anakin Skywalker, because they know he's in a very bad state right now. But Palpatine knows that Anakin Skywalker is just about ready to leave the Jedi Order, and he doesn't care anymore. He wants to get vengeance for Maul. So Anakin Skywalker is sent out by Palpatine to go kill Maul. Let's just say at this point in the story, though, that Anakin Skywalker doesn't know Palpatine is Darth Sidious. Again, Palpatine is much more sly and clever and less overt. He's trying to push Anakin to the dark side. He's still in his human form. So Anakin goes off and tries to kill Maul. They have a duel on Mandalore, and Anakin Skywalker overpowers Maul because he has both the power of the dark side as well as his Jedi training, and he easily kills Maul. And now, Palpatine, with Anakin Skywalker out, Kenobi out, the Jedi Council in disarray, now he activates Order 66. This is where it takes place in this story now. And the Jedi are taken off guard because they're dealing with the loss of Kenobi and the potential loss of Anakin Skywalker, and so Order 66 being placed here is a perfect place. I would also put some similar events from Revenge of the Sith here, like Mace Windu going to confront Emperor Palpatine, and I would have it be in a similar situation where they have a duel, Palpatine easily overpowers most of the Jedi, Mace Windu corners him, he electrocutes him, and I would say that Palpatine is pretty much strong enough to defeat Windu, so he defeats Windu on his own this time. And so Palpatine is now heavily scarred like we see him in the original trilogy, the Jedi Temple is burning, the clones are turning on the Jedi, and all is right in Palpatine's mind. So Anakin returns to a burning Jedi Temple, Palpatine heavily scarred, the man that was his mentor aside from Obi-Wan Kenobi, and the clones protecting civilians against the quote-unquote rogue Jedi. Again, Anakin is in a very bad place right now, and so what he sees fits in with what he wants to see, which is that the Jedi are evil and corrupt. This, to me, is more compelling than Anakin Skywalker saying, from my point of view, the Jedi are evil, because, okay, that's great, but you didn't really show that in the original movie. So now he has a compelling reason to believe that. Now at this point in the story, Anakin is basically Darth Vader, and Palpatine sends him off to go do some missions. But before he does that, he goes and checks in on Padme, who is watching the massacre, and she obviously doesn't know what's happening, right? So he goes in to check on Padme, and sure enough, Ahsoka Tano is there. Because I think Ahsoka would have escaped Order 66 just like she did in Star Wars The Clone Wars, and she would have gone to Padme for advice or help, and she knew that Anakin Skywalker was coming, and so she's there, ready to fight. And they have the duel, basically in place of Obi-Wan versus Anakin. It's Anakin versus Ahsoka now. So they have their duel, and this time what the difference is that Padme tries to get in between them to stop them, and Anakin accidentally, directly this time, kills Padme. It's no longer the I don't have the will to live, it's basically just he accidentally stabs her with his lightsaber. And obviously that would send Anakin into an even bigger spiral, but this time he would be more confused, sad, angry, frustrated, guilt-ridden, and that would be enough for Ahsoka to overpower him and basically restrain him. So now with a restrained Anakin Skywalker, she heads back to the Jedi Temple to fight Palpatine because she thinks that she can naively defeat Palpatine, which she can't. And of course, Palpatine easily overpowers her with his Sith lightning, but then, lest we forget that Yoda is still there. So this is why Yoda has his big duel with Palpatine this time. It's not just a random fight that he has, but rather it's because he's trying to protect Ahsoka and take down the Emperor. And again, just like in Revenge of the Sith, the Emperor can easily overpower Yoda, or not easily, but they have a fight and he overpowers Yoda, but this time, Anakin Skywalker is there. It's going to be like Return of the Jedi, where Darth Vader throws Emperor Palpatine down the shaft. But this time, look, Anakin Skywalker is in a horrible place right now. He basically has taken Padme's place. He has lost the will to live. It's not like the dark side is powering him anymore. He has done horrible things and he's beginning to come around to it, and he realizes he basically has nothing there anymore. He has done so much wrong and he feels like he is ready to give his life up to at least do some good. So this time, instead of him throwing Palpatine down the elevator shaft, he basically grabs Palpatine while he's distracted and he jumps into the elevator shaft, I guess in the Jedi Temple, with Palpatine, and that is the last we see of Anakin Skywalker and Sheev Palpatine. And that is basically the ending of this version of Revenge of the Sith and the Star Wars saga. And so Yoda and Ahsoka are there left to build the Jedi Order up again, and maybe they'll do it with better principles this time. Who knows? And also Grogu's there. Maybe. Oh, and then I guess, 40, 50 years later, Rey Palpatine is going to show up again, and this time they're going to resurrect both Palpatine and Anakin Skywalker and make the rise of Palpatine Skywalker. But that's a story for another day. Like I said at the beginning of the video, you throw a small pebble into the ocean and it's going to send big ripples. By Obi-Wan Kenobi leaving the Order, it opens up the door for infinite possibilities, and this is only one of them. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts down below in the comments. What did you guys think of my theory? Let me know in the comments down below. If you like this video, then make sure to subscribe and give this video a like, and let me know if you'd like to see some more what-if scenarios, and let me know what kinds of what-if scenarios you'd like to see. If you want to check out some more videos, check out the videos on the screen right now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.